everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review for The Disenchantments by LaCour. So this book is about Colby and Bev, and Colby and Bev have had this plan since they can remember to graduate from high school and then go on tour with Bev's band and then travel Europe for a year instead of going to college like all of their classmates are doing. But these whole plans are shattered when at the beginning of their tour, Bev confesses to Colby that she is planning on going to college in the fall. So Colby's world is completely flipped upside down because he has always planned to do this, and he's angry at Bev, who's becoming increasingly distant. He doesn't know what to do, and at the center of it all is the whole question, what is he gonna do with his life in the long run? I found the writing to be a tad bit confusing and kind of unclear at times. I do wish it was more concise. I just found that sometimes I was trying a little bit too hard and I had to like reread things a couple times to really get what was going on, if that makes any sense. I feel like it's one of those stories that it's told in too many words and it could be shorter than this, but it was just kind of confusing at times and not my favorite writing. I just found myself rereading, which isn't really something that you want to be doing. You don't want to reread the same thing a bunch of times. But other than that little bit of a clarity problem, it was good. No, really, it wasn't amazing, it wasn't awful, it was just kind of your average writing. So I gave the writing a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, as far as the characters go, Colby, the main character, personal preference, I think I just didn't really like him. I found him to be a bit whiny and kind of indecisive. He really just was kind of taking everything a little bit too personally when it didn't really have that much to do with him. I think he needed to think through things more, but I do understand that's his character. It was just my preference. I didn't really like it. But I think seeing him try to kind of accept this, and he's had this plan for his whole entire life and then all of a sudden it's not happening anymore, and seeing him trying to cope with that and kind of cope with now his thoughts of Bev after that was made for an interesting plot line. Bev was a character that I feel like I have read before. She's kind of the Alaska Young of this book. She is very aloof and mysterious and doesn't want to be tied down, but Colby is trying to tie her down. And I mean, I guess she does want to be tied down because she wants to go to college and he doesn't, but she has these plans for her life and they don't really coincide with Colby's, and he's trying to kind of make them coincide, and I think she just can't be really forced into anything. She's really that kind of like eccentric out there girl that everyone really wants to be. And I found the other two girls to be like that as well. I did find the sisters to be interesting characters. I almost said annoying. I liked them as characters. I thought their relationship was interesting, and Meg I thought was a very interesting character because she was kind of the picture perfect girl as the rest of the group is, but then she has this like secret that she really isn't. And I kind of liked that she was brought into the plot so it wasn't just about Colby and Bev. So overall, I gave the characters a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now getting into the plot, I want to talk a little bit more about the characters. One of my main issues with the characters was I felt like they weren't believable. They were very much like the typical hipsters, I guess. They loved, they had a Volkswagen, they have this little band that doesn't even sound good, but people still book them for gigs, which I felt like was really weird. I guess it was just in the atmosphere of it, the fact that they're playing with such conviction and they are playing in earnest and clearly like what they're doing. So apparently people just book them because of that, but I thought it was kind of weird that their band was booked even though they sounded bad, and I felt like the whole road trip, their whole tour thing and just the group as a whole, the people who made it up, I felt like it was very unbelievable, and they were just two kind of picture perfect kind of 80s wild child people, and I just felt like it wasn't really believable at all. That aside, I did like the concept of the plotline following their tour, and I did like the whole kind of I felt like it was kind of like a road trip book with all the typical detours, which I really like. I love road trip books. They're always fantastic. And this one was kind of like that, which I really enjoyed. But for the most part, I wasn't really wowed by it. I felt like it was a lot of the same, kind of the whole broodiness of Colby and Bev being okay, relax, like you don't own me, you don't control me. I just felt like the whole 1980s kind of vibe though was cool. It was just the fact that it was a little bit unbelievable at times. So overall, I gave the plot a 3 out of 5 stars. So overall, I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I thought that was good. I just wasn't really wowed by it. I felt like some things were unbelievable. The writing wasn't really that clear. It could have been a lot better than it was, but I didn't hate it. I just thought it was kind of average. So I think that's all that I have to say for this review. Sorry if it wasn't very clear. I'm having a lot of trouble kind of like getting my thoughts in order for this book because it's hard to kind of say them without spoiling it, but I hope this kind of helped you decide whether you want to read it or not. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!